Hello and welcome to part 4 of our mini-series on content types, which is in turn part of our general IndieCommerce video documentation series, which can be found on bookweb.org. Just go to e-commerce and ebooks, IndieCommerce, and Training Video Center. As before, this video assumes that you've watched the previous 3 videos on content types. Since the information in this video builds on the information from the other 3. We also recommend that you take a look at the written documentation available on BookWeb as well, under e-commerce and ebooks, IndieCommerce, and then IC Help Center. In the previous videos, we talked about content types in general, the basic differences between static content types and saleable product classes, and how to create a new content type. In this video, we'll look at creating a new product class so we can sell a particular type of item. Then, we'll look at adding some attributes to our product like color and size, and then some options for those attributes like red, green, blue, or small, medium, large. When we created a new content type called article, we started the process by going to Structure, Content Types, and Add Content Type, since we were really just creating a new static node type, which is nothing special. But product classes are different since they have to interact with the shopping cart and the checkout process. The system needs to be able to see that a particular product has a price, that it can be shipped, which triggers the shipping options in checkout, and whether it needs to have tax calculated. All things that never happen with a static node like a page or an event. Now we could just create a one-off product by going to Content, Add Content, and Product. But let's say I create a one-off product for a particular sideline item, and then another for a signed copy, and another for an event ticket, and another for a large bronze sculpture. Before I know it, I have 20 of these products to sell on my site. But it occurs to me that some of these items need to be tax exempt while others do not. If they're all created as products, then they will all be treated exactly the same. If one of them is tax exempt, then all of them will be tax exempt. And like the content type we created called article, creating a new product class is helpful if we expect to create a lot of the same type of item, such as event tickets. So just as I created a new content type called article to keep all of my newsletter articles separate from the rest of my nodes, I'm going to create a new product class to sell t-shirts and separate them from any other saleable items. That way I can also dictate if my t-shirts should all be taxed. So product classes are created in a different place than static content types. For these, we go to Store, Product, and Manage Classes. Here, we can see a few already existing product classes. Some of these exist by default, such as the ABA product, which is any book in the large shared database. Others are here because a module has been activated, such as if a store is selling gift cards, gift certificates, or online-only gift codes. The rest are product classes that have been set up specifically for this site, and they include signed editions, event tickets, and a ceramic coffee mug. We'll be adding a new product class to t-shirts to create t-shirts that my store will be selling. Luckily, creating a new product class is actually one of the easiest tasks to complete in Drupal, so let's set it up. Below the existing product classes, you'll see an area where you can start creating a new class. First, the class ID. This needs to be machine readable, so we'll say t-shirt. And then the class name. Keep in mind, these should be singular. And a description, but I don't think that's going to be necessary here. And then I'll click Save at the bottom. And that's it. The new product class has been created. By default, it will offer all the same fields that are offered when building a generic product. So if I go to Content, Add Content, and now T-shirt, it will ask for a name, a description, an image, a SKU, sell price, etc. But before we go any further, let's attend to some details concerning our new product class. So we'll go to Structure, Content Types, and in this case, T-shirt. Here, just as we did with the article content type, I want to make a change. In this case, I want to make sure that the username and the creation date are not being displayed. In this case, they are not. Just want to make sure of that. Click Save. And as it turns out, clothing is not taxed where I am. So I'm going to arrange for these items to be non-taxable. For this, we go to Store, Configuration, and then Taxes. Here you can see that there are 2 tax rates for every store outside of New York State. There's your local tax rate and then the New York State tax. Generally speaking, all orders that ship into New York State are always charged New York State tax regardless of where the store is located. Of course, stores in New York see only one tax rate. If we edit each one, we can remove the T-shirt product class from the list of taxable items. So for each tax rate, just click the edit link to the far right, and you'll see a list of taxed product types, and in this case we want to remove T-shirt, and click Submit at the bottom. And then we'll do again the same thing for the New York tax rate. Click Edit, remove the T-shirt, and click Submit. So now we have a new custom product class, and it is non-taxable. But this isn't adequate for our T-shirts, since we need to allow people to choose a size and a color. By default, my T-shirt product class doesn't ask for color or size. So we'll need to add some attributes, and we'll need to create some options for those attributes. If you go to Store, Products, and Attributes, you'll see a list of existing attributes, though some stores may not have any attributes listed yet. Stores that are selling a gift card or gift certificate will see To, From, Message, and Gift card amount. Interestingly, once an attribute has been created, it can be applied to any product that you've created. If I sell hats as well as T-shirts, I can create a size attribute with a list of sizes and then apply it to both products. Since I want to add colors and sizes to my T-shirts, I'll need to add some new attributes. So I click the link to add an attribute at the top of the page. The next page is going to ask me for some details about this attribute. So we need a name of the attribute. In this case, we'll call it color. The label, again, we'll call it color for T-shirts in this case. Help text, I don't think that's going to be necessary. In this case, I do want to make the field required. If a customer is purchasing a T-shirt, we need to know what color it's going to be. When I have my list of options, they will be displayed to the customer. In this case, I'm going to choose in a select box, or I could do radio buttons or check boxes, but we'll keep it as the select box. And then I'll click Submit at the bottom here. So now I've added an attribute that can be added to my T-shirts when I start to create them. But of course, I've only created the attribute and I have no options in it yet. So let's do this. All the way at the right, we'll click the Options link. Now we can start to add options to this attribute. Up at the top, we click Add an Option. And the first one will be black. Now I could arrange for my black T-shirts to carry a higher price than the regular T-shirt, but I'm not going to do that right now. We'll address that a little later. I'm going to create a couple of more options. In this case, we'll do white. Again, I don't need to make any other changes here. And then the last one I'm going to do will be, I suppose, red might be a good color. And we'll click Submit. So now I have an attribute called color, and I have a list of options, black, red, and white. Now I'm going to go back. I also want to be able to have customers choose a size on these t-shirts. So again, I'm going to go back to Store, Products, and Attributes, and I'm going to create another attribute. In this case, we're going to call it Size. So this will be Size, and again, we'll do Size for t-shirts. Help text, again, I don't think it's going to be necessary. I do want to make this required. Again, customer does have to choose a size. These will also be displayed in a select box, and we'll click Submit at the bottom. So now I have an attribute called Color with a list of options, and I have an attribute called Size. We're going to say, we're going to add some options here. As it turns out, my t-shirts come in medium. We'll click Submit there. And another option, this will be large. Large. And finally, double extra large. Now, as it turns out, my t-shirt distributor charges me extra for double extra large shirts. So I'm going to pass that cost on to my customers. So I'm going to, under my double extra large option, I'm going to adjust the price. In this case, my distributor charges me $2 more, so I am going to pass that on to my customers. I'm going to put $2 in here. That means that if a customer chooses the double extra large option, $2 will be added to the actual price or the base price of the t-shirt. And I'll go ahead and click Submit. And there we go. So now we have our list of sizes, and we also have a list of colors. So let's go ahead and build our, we'll build a t-shirt. We'll build a node. So we're going to go to Content, Add Content, and T-shirt. And we're going to just call it T-shirt. We'll call it a store logo T-shirt. And put in all of my descriptive text for my T-shirt. I'm going to upload an image. Easily enough. This is my T-shirt here. My SKU is just going to be called, actually I'm going to use, I'll just say T-shirt. My sell price, I'm selling these for $10. I want my list price, it's not required, but it is a good practice to keep your list price and your sell price the same. I don't need to fill in the rest of that. I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And that brings me to my T-shirt. So here's my T-shirt. My image could be a little smaller, I suppose, but there it is. But I have no way for customers to choose a size. So I'm going to go back to Edit, now that I've created this, and now you'll see a little Attributes tab. Anytime you create a product, you'll always see an Attributes tab if you have attributes that you can add to it. So I'm going to click on Attributes, and it's going to say you don't have any attributes yet, so add an attribute to this product. It takes me to my list of attributes, and in this case, I want both color and size, and I'm going to add both of those attributes. Okay, this is exactly what I want, and we're going to save that change. Now let's go back to view our product, and now my customers can see at the bottom of my T-shirt, they can select a size, or they can select a color, and they can select a size. And if they choose, again, the double extra large and add it to the cart, you'll see that it's not a $10 shirt anymore, it's a $12 shirt because the double extra large adds $2. And that is how you create a custom product class and add attributes and options to it.